Welcome to Physical Science Introduction to Science. This is the schedule for this unit. Keep in mind that the Unit 1 test for Block B will be on October 7th, and for Block A will be on October 8th. In this particular lesson, we're going to learn about safety in the lab, parts of a lab, and how does a ball bounce. Homework is watching Introduction to Physical Science and Bouncing Ball Lab 2015, reviewing the safety contract with your family, and start working on your safety poster. Bring the signed contract to class. The learning targets for this unit or this lecture are: I can list and explain the safety rules for this class, I can start to think about my safety poster, and I can describe and complete how does a ball bounce activity. The first and most important thing is to be careful. The best safety device is a careful worker. Get the safety habit. Safety equipment in the wet lab is in the back of the room. The safety shower and eye wash station is just left of the storage room door. The fire extinguisher and fire blankets are on the right side of the storage room door. These are the fire exits from the dry or wet lab. In the dry lab, we would go to the door, take a left at the door, take another left during the emergency hall exit, and go to the Mears Park. In the wet lab, we would do exactly the same thing. You need to be prepared for lab. If it is a complicated lab, you'll get a handout prior to the lab that I would expect you to read through. During class, I'll cover easier labs. If you have any questions about how to do something, make sure you ask me. No horseplay in the lab room. I expect you to behave and do what you're told. You need to wear your goggles, not on your forehead, but covering your eyes. As far as clothing is concerned, individuals who have long hair should tie them back. You should roll up your sleeves on shirts. You probably should not wear a watch, and you should not wear a necklace. You need to be in the lab station you've been assigned. I do not want to see people wandering around the classroom aimlessly. You have work to do, and I expect you to do it. I expect you to read all the instructions before you start doing the lab. Again, if it's a more complicated lab, that would be homework. If it's a more simple lab, we'll go over it, and you will read over them in class before you start the experiment. You need to keep the lab area clean. Unauthorized experiments are not permitted in the classroom. Make sure that you follow the instructions on any given experiment. There is no eating or drinking in the lab. If you have an accident, make sure you report it to me as soon as possible. Make sure you return all lab materials and equipment to their proper place after use. If you have chemicals, I will tell you how to get rid of them. Make sure everything is cleaned up, not just at the lab station, but around your area as well. Safety poster. I want you to creatively illustrate one of the safety rules on a poster. It will be worth 15 points. Points will be awarded as follows. The rule is clearly understood. I can see that by just simply looking at it. It is artistic, colorful, and well executed. It has a good layout. It is original and/or humorous. The deadline is Friday, September 25th, before 3:30 p.m. I will not accept anything after that. The poster is worth 15 points, 5 points for each portion that I've listed above. We're going to do a physical science lab. How does a ball bounce? One person will hold a meter stick with the 0 mark on the table. The other person will hold the ball at the 1 meter mark and release it. and we'll watch how high the ball bounces. You're going to record that in your data table. You will again do this, but you will hold it at the end point of the last lap, of the last activity. You will do 3 bounces. They should be progressively getting smaller. You will do a graph with your data. You'll have a title. You'll label the X and Y axes. Numbers will be on each axis. They will be evenly spaced out, and you're going to graph your data.